typically when you graduate Green Platoon, you go to one of the four battalions and you go to a shop and you start working on it. The battalions are spread between Tennessee, Savannah, Washington State. I assumed I was going to one of those places. And then I got orders and it was like Fort Huachuca, Arizona. I was like, what? It's like they don't have anything in Huachuca, Arizona. But what it was is a drone component of the 160th that was getting stood up. So I flew out to Fort Huachuca, Arizona. I had never seen or heard about a drone at all. And I walk into, my place of duty essentially, and the planes are in boxes. Like they're big planes, like 56-foot wingspans. And they're in these boxes in the corner of the hangar. There's like five of us there. And they're like, well, welcome to a brand new unit. We are building everything. So it was a very unique experience and ended up being a plank holder in that company and that project within the 160th, but had to learn everything on the fly and really get integrated into the whole UAS, so unmanned aircraft part of the military, which was a really cool experience.
So when you're learning everything on the fly, how much pressure is that for you, or that you're feeling? Is there a lot that's expected of you, or that you're expecting of yourself, but you're also learning? Do you give yourself or do they give you a little bit of grace as you're learning everything for the first time, or is it like, no, you got to be performing all the time?
Yes and no. So I had this platoon sergeant who was from the 82nd back in the day, and looking back, he was hard on us, and he played a lot of games and stuff like that, but he was doing it from a place of mentorship for me. Like I think he really saw like my ambition and my like desire to be as good as I can, and he challenged me on that. So he would constantly just put these different challenges and stuff on me. So in that situation, I didn't really have much leeway. It was kind of a unique situation because I was one of two guys that had no idea what a drone even was. I was airframe, and all the other guys there in the shop were, drone mechanics specifically. So they had all the experience, they had all the knowledge, they had deployed working on this specific system before. But I made it a point, and like I never saw myself being a mechanic. It's not nearly what I joined the military for, but now I was in a mechanic role. I did not grow up doing any type of mechanics or anything. So I made it a point to try to learn more than them. And I remember we were taking a test, and we were told by the platoon sergeant that we are going to be taking this test, and it was on like maximum and minimum oil pressures of the aircraft and like how to diagnose like different issues and all that stuff. And for like a month, like I would finish work, I would go work out, and I would just study like for this test. And I ended up like getting a good score. Didn't conceptually understand a lot of the stuff, but I like beat out the drone mechanics in it, and I was like, all proud. Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of leeway. It's an environment where, the 160th as a whole is like a no excuses mentality type of unit. You're there to provide the customer, again, like the SF guys and everything, with this high quality of service. So whatever you don't get done affects the mission on the ground. So that's like what they instilled in us. So we pretty much worked around the clock and trying to get everything set up and off the ground as fast as possible.